Those of you that might remember the old West Central Conference, these two teams will be very familiar to you. They were rivals in that conference for years. They will be back together again in a couple of years. Different conferences, but still a rivalry. The Cascade Cadets and the South Putnam Eagles. The second half of the boys high school basketball season is underway. I'm Mark James. Welcome to South Putnam High School. We welcome you to boys high school basketball tonight. It's the Cascade Cadets, as we mentioned, against the South Putnam Eagles in the Eagles' Nest. Mark James and Coach Bobby Meslam on the call tonight. And Coach, let's start with your keys to tonight's matchup.
Well, Coach, it's good to be here. First key is early momentum. Both teams have lost 4 out of the last 5, even though they've been competitive games. They're trying to get back to a winning streak. And I think the other thing is who can get some easy baskets. I know the pace of play is going to be a little bit different. South Putnam wants to get up and down a little bit, and Cascade is more of a patient team. So who can get some easy buckets in the transition part of the game?
That was a good look at Kyle Swafford on the right there, the veteran coach here at South Putnam. And Kyle had some work to do when he got here. He's the 4th different coach in 4 years now here at South Putnam.
Yeah, I chatted a little bit with Kyle after the last game, and he's done a nice job. I was able to catch the Cloverdale game. They played well. It was a ball game for 2.5 quarters, and then South Putnam was just too strong. But I look for tonight to be a little more evenly balanced, Mark.
I know you want to take it one game at a time, but the goal the second half of the season, Coach, quite frankly, you got to have an eye on making sure that you're making the preparations, fixing the things you need to fix, because it's going to be tournament time before you know it.
Yeah, and that's especially true for Cascade. They're very young. South Putnam's got a little more veteran leadership, but these games coming up for Cascade will be really important to get ready for the state tournament.
Everything about this matchup says it should be even. I mean, players are very similar on both sides of the basketball. Coaches have very similar philosophies, and the records are very, very similar. This is a very intriguing matchup.
Yeah, one team's 6-7, one team's 5-5, and like I said, they're both looking to turn the tide here in January. David
Carpenter in his second season with a record of 14-22. His Cadets are 6-7. The South Putnam Eagles with a record of 5-5. Kyle Swafford in his first season here, 92, 62, and 7 overall. Last year, for 1 year, the head coach at Southridge spent several seasons at Monrovia High School in addition to being the boys basketball coach. If you think Kyle Swafford might not be the guy, I can tell you he's the guy, because you don't win 2 sectionals in girls basketball and a sectional in boys basketball and not know what you're doing.
That's Coach. Yeah, that's true. Here we got the national anthem.
He's pretty impressive, and we'll be back with your starting lineups in first quarter action after this.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Brewer jams it home. That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net. A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Oh, my goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim. Six of them.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
starting lineups for tonight's game brought to you by Aaron Pittman and virtual announcer. Make your game day experience the absolute best by hiring Aaron. If he can't be there, he will be your virtual announcer, and that's for any sport, not just hoops. Find out more and just how affordable it can be at Virtual Announce on social or by calling 317-800-0612. That's 317 or 800-0612. If you're ready now, the starting lineups, first of all, for the Cadets of Cascade High School. Good look at them there. Give their record 6 and 7. Dodson, Sanders, and Parsons, Weigel, and Tharp. They offer a balanced scoring attack. A couple of guys average around 5 or 6 points per ball game, and Tharp, kind of the unofficial point guard, averages just over 3 points per contest. Now for Kyle Swafford of the South Putnam Eagles, Drew Hill is the guy that they're going to look to the score. There's a good look at the 6'1 junior there. He averages 15 points per contest, 5 rebounds, and shoots 81% from the free throw line. Cam Bozell also is in the starting lineup tonight. You see Branham, Hiblin, and Dorset. And in terms of depth, Coach, both of these teams look to go about 7 or 8 deep.
That's correct. I think Cascade is a little more balanced, whereas South Putnam relies on Hill and Hiblin inside and outside. So I think both teams have some good ball players to fill their roles respectfully on both ball clubs. Conversations
that we both had with Kyle Swafford, and he said, when he got here, the program wasn't a total rebuild, but it was in rough shape because, as we mentioned, he's the 4th coach in 4 years. But I'll tell you, he likes his kids. He likes his basketball team. He's working for his good friend Troy Burgess, who's the athletic director here. And a lot of things came together to provide a perfect opportunity for Kyle Swafford after a year at Southridge to get back to Central Indiana to be closer to family.
Yeah, both coaches feel very pleased with their teams. They're looking to make some progress this evening because this is a big rival game.
Had a chance to see Cascade earlier this year, and as we mentioned, we gave you the numbers, have a couple of guys average around 5 or 6 points per contest, and they don't rely on any one person to carry the scoring load. They like that balanced attack, and their length is a bit of a concern for Kyle Swafford tonight. Cascade in the dark jersey, South Putnam in the Eagles' nest in the home white, and the opening tap is controlled by the Cascade Cadets. Nick Parsons, Dodson with the weave out high. Man-to-man early. Neither team, the ball's kicked out of bounds. It'll go to South Putnam, so an empty possession to start. Neither team really lighted up from the 3. They don't rely on it, but they use it as an occasional weapon. Both prefer to be patient offensively.
Yeah, both teams will start out in man-to-man, and both teams won't switch. They'll be fighting through the screens.
Again, that's the go-to guy, Drew Hill. He'll kick it in the corner. Hiblin, little head and shoulders fake. Had to throw it through a lot of arms, but they're able to hold on to the possession. A Tuesday night affair, high school basketball, here on Endeavor Communications, courtesy of IHSAA Sports. Ball out of bounds, last touch by Cascade.
You'll notice Cascade's a little packed in the paint.
David Carpenter, as we mentioned, in his 2nd season, a record of 14 and 22. Chris Dubois was the head coach for a long, long time at Cascade. "17 seasons, in fact, he was the head man."
Pretty errant out of bounds play. Nobody was paying attention, Coach.
A minute gone, no score. Strong move to the hoop, threw it up just a little bit too strong. Weigel on the misfire. Transition, come the Eagles of South Putnam. Early game jitters, which you oftentimes find. Good ball rotation to kick out to the top of the key, and just like that, the Cascade Cadets are on the board.
Parsons can hit that shot. That was a nice catch and shoot.
Parsons gives his ball club an early 3-0 lead, and a moving screen leads to the offensive foul. Put that one on Jeremiah Hiblin. Good ball rotation by Cascade. Last trip down the floor resulted in the 3. On the steal, Hiblin. Strong move, no. And a foul. came from the trail official. Weigel guilty of the infraction.
Kind of careless pass up top. Little footwork error, and the ball went the other way.
Team shoots 67% on the season from the free throw line. Hiblin's no good on that first attempt. Second one is good, and they're on the board. Early 2-point lead for the Cascade Cadets. And again, short trip between these two schools along US 40, west of Indianapolis. This special Tuesday night affair, they start slipping in Tuesday night games in the second half of the season to kind of get these teams used to what it's like when tournament time rolls around. We do a Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Scramble for the loose ball and a battle, and a loose ball foul going to be tacked on Connor Sanders, the sophomore.
That's already 2 turnovers for both teams. And a little careless passing up top for Cascade.
Yeah, as you know as a coach, sometimes you got to be patient early on, especially in a rivalry game. I mean, that adrenaline pumping plenty high, and it's going to be mistake-ridden, and you just got to play your way through it. Ball rotation, open look, nothing but net. Devin Weigel gets on the board. So we should say neither team relies on their three-point shot. Just a 28% team from beyond the arc shooting-wise is Cascade, but it served them well early on and it's taken them to a 5-point lead. Strong move, and when you need to get off the schneid a little bit, you put it in the hands of your go-to guy, Drew Hill, and he creates space, gets to the bucket, cuts the lead in half.
Yeah, they need to get him involved. That's his first shot attempt in almost 4 minutes.
Tell kids all the time, it's not a hard game. Three-pointer off the mark. To the right side in transition comes Drew Hill. Looking to create here for the right wing. Little stop and go, and draws the foul. I think the thing that makes him tough to guard is that extra gear. And you saw it there on display.
Yes. But good thing he traveled.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. But he traveled, yeah. Good things happen typically when South Putnam goes through Hiblin in either the high or the low post. But if you notice down here with Cascade, their first 2 threes were catch and shoot. The next one was off the dribble. A bad shot led to a transition for South Putnam.
The guy in the striped shirt agreed with your call, and I'm sure that happened all the time when you were on the bench, Coach.
They never listen to me.
3-pointers and no-go. Rebound controlled by South Putnam.
I always told them I had a good angle if they needed any help.
They should have taken it more.
Yeah.
Drew Hill, deep three. No. Rebound. It's a strong rebound. In transition comes Cascade. Pretty good position by Tharp. He's open for 3, but that's not his shot. Parsons going to back it out and redirect now. Under 4 minutes to play in the quarter, 6-3, the 3-point advantage. Kyle Swafford going to the bench and a foul out high.
And that was a frustration foul on Hill.
Fisher Jones checking in. He wears number 10. Wyatt Switzer coming in as well, a 6'1 sophomore, 31. Third team foul. 3 team fouls on Cascade, just a couple on South Putnam early on. David Carpenter going to his bench the next stoppage in play. There's a 3, and it's nothing but net.
Much better catch and shoot.
Drake Dodson gets into the scoring act. 3 of the 5 starters have now scored, and that bumps the lead to 6 at 9-3.
They're getting some great looks on dribble penetration.
3-pointer, a no-go by Hiblin, and it's all black shirts underneath. Cascade picks up the pace just a little bit. Another 3, nothing but net. Drake Dodson now has 6 on back-to-back threes, makes it a 9-point lead at 12-3.
Yeah, all 4 shots they've hit, Coach, have been just catch and shoot, catch and shoot.
Hill gets the screen and a good job of denying by Connor Sanders. They have Sanders, who's a bit taller, chasing him around. He'll stop and pop from the top of the key and nothing but net. 5 points for Drew Hill.
Yeah, look for Hill to start looking for his shots more frequently.
Kyle really likes him. He said he is their leader, no doubt about it. Nice player, very coachable. That's what he says about all of these kids. He said, hey, let's face it, we might not have too many guys on an all-state team. Heck, we might not have too many guys on an all-area team. He said, but I guarantee you not too many teams are going to outwork our kids, and that's why I enjoy coaching. Hill, again, stop and go. Leaping leader, up and under. 7 points now for Drew Hill. He's got his ball club right back in it at 12-7.
That's in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah. Under 2 in the quarter now. Nice look underneath, good head and shoulders fake, drew the defenders off their feet. The first 2 for Connor Sanders. 4 of the 5 Cascade starters have scored. And as we said off the top, they like balance in their scoring, and that's what they're getting early on.
You know, one of the good things about having balance is everybody gets to participate. The downside is you don't have a go-to person. Coach talked about that.
Good look in transition and an and one opportunity for Sanders off the dish from Nick Parsons. Fisher Jones among the substitutions. Officials talking it over. We'll see if they count it. Looks like Drew Hill's going to pick up the personal.
If that's so, that's his second foul, I believe. Yeah, I think the scoreboard's wrong.
So they've corrected it now. That is his second foul, that he'll have to have a seat.
Yeah, the scoreboard was wrong on that one.
And that'll bring Fisher Jones back into the ballgame.
What a wonderful finish by that young man.
Yeah. Strong move and great job in penetration by Nick Parsons.
It was great body control to finish and plus get the N1.
Short on the free throw. Battle for the loose ball. Last touch by South Putnam. Now Cascade goes to the bench, and Toby Savini substitution. And he will give Connor Sanders a well-deserved break.
This sub that just came in, he has the potential to catch and shoot and hit threes. Not very big, but he's a pretty good shooter.
Off the inbounds, and a foul underneath. Zach Dorsett, the 6'3" sophomore, picks up the team's 4th personal foul. Lob in, pretty well defended. They'll reset now. Parsons. Looking for the weave, sets the high screen. A bump, and what do we got? A foul, much to the dismay of Kyle Swafford. Zach Dorsett picks up 2 quick ones, and Kyle's asking for an explanation.
It's already 5 fouls on South Putnam.
Yeah, that'll put a pretty decent free throw shooting team at the free throw line early in the half at this rate.
So this is the 3rd time they've had the ball out of bounds under their own basket, and they're struggling to get the ball in. Look at the man-to-man pressure that South Putnam has. They're fighting through screens.
Yeah, it's not an easy get by any stretch. And they pack that paint in once the ball gets in bounds.
They've lined up in a 1-4 all 4 times. But they're not screening anybody. They're just running by. Now they switch to a box.
What a great job of fighting through screens defensively. Now a reset by Drake Dodson. And they're amping the pressure up, picking them up out high, backdoor cut, and a foul. Can you tell where we are? Zach Dorsett, just like that, has picked up his third personal foul.
Well, these referees have taken command of the game very early.
Right.
They've not let the play go by.
Nothing doing on the free throw. Dorsett's got to have a seat. That'll bring Austin Branham back into the ball game, and Carter Sanders comes into the ball game. Wears number 20 for the Cadets. Kyle Swafford still pleading his case. Weigel hits 1 of 2, has 4 points now, and the lead is 10 at 17-7. After South Putnam had tried to crawl back into it. They're having to do so now with their go-to guy, Drew Hill, on the floor. And we've got a foul away from the ball, going to be charged against South Putnam. Moving screen. That is team foul number 7. At this pace, what's for breakfast? Because this one might take a little while. Full court pressure. Cascade gets it in.
You notice since they hit those first 4 threes how South Putnam has extended their defense.
For sure. Good strong move. Swatted away from behind and a foul. Fisher Jones saw the personal, the team's 8th, and a couple of free throws now for Cascade. Good. Toby Savini comes off the bench, getting into the scoring act. As we mentioned, they shoot 62% as a team from the free throw line, and he is good on both, and it is a 19-7 advantage. Closing seconds of quarter number 1.
Cascade's gone now to a 2-3 zone.
Might as well with Hill off the floor. Good strong move and a finger roll by Himlin gets it to fall. He has 3 now. That'll help. 10-point lead now. Cadets can play for the last one. Savini dribbles into a double team, throws it up with a buzzer, and it will not count. We have played 1 quarter of basketball, and it is 19-9, 10-point advantage from Cascade. South Putt's got some work to do to overcome foul difficulties. Second quarter action when we come back.
Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at endeavor.com, www.endeavor.com for more information. Second quarter action underway. Himlin with the N1 opportunity to start the second quarter for the South Putnam Eagles. Good on the free throw. Give him 6. A little bit of a disparity in our scoring sheet as opposed to what's being shown on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
I think in all likelihood we probably gave Drew Hill credit for a 3 when it was only a 2. That's the only thing I figured. Those are the only 2 guys that have scored. So, yeah, that is the case. So Hill actually has 6 and not 7, which puts us where we need to be score-wise. Bodies to the floor and no call. Coach Swafford wants to know why. Weak side rebound, transition basket opportunity thrown up too hard by the Eagles.
I think the fouls are to the dismay of the student section for South Putnam tonight so far.
Cadet basketball. Devin Weigel. Savini. Sweet looking jump shot. Give him 4. First 2 came on free throws. 2 points in the quarter for him. Weigel had 4. Almost stolen away. Back come the Eagles from 12. Hiblin has given them the boost they need with Drew Hill on the bench. He averages 13 points per contest. He's got 8 now, and he's cut the lead down to 7.
Yeah, they're kind of cleared out outside the floor, let him go to work. But you notice that last time Cascade brought a double team against him.
Savini almost traveled, dribbles into a double team. Ball loose on the floor, controlled by South Putt. It is the Jeremiah Hiblin show as he's in double figures with 10 now, and the lead's at 21-16. Defensive pressure leading to transition opportunities for South Putnam.
Ever since the latter part of the first quarter, when South Putnam has brought their defense out a little further, the dribble and kick threes have not been open for Cascade.
Nice give and go. Good bucket, led to a nice hoop by Tharp. Mackay Tharp with his first 2. Now all 5 starters have scored for Cascade. 5.5-minute mark of the first half. Hiblin gotten his ball club back into it. Nice dish, thrown up a little too strong on the baseline in transition. Savini under pressure, picks up the dribble, gathers it back in. Start with a little 4-low set. They pop everybody out to the bucket in transition. Thrown up too strong by Nick Parsons.
Yeah, not a good shot.
From 16, no.
We've had back-to-back bad shots.
Branham misfires. Technical foul is going to be called on Kyle Swafford. Said something as the official went by. And he wasted no time. That makes 9 team fouls. And puts Cascade at the line. One of the other officials coming over, having a conversation with Kyle. Trying to get on the same page with how the conversation unfolded.
4 for 4 for Savini. He's come off the bench, 6 quick points.
Now back to a 25-16 margin in Cascade basketball.
Not only they get 2 free throws in the ball, Coach Swafford has a seat for the rest of the game.
That's right. Hiblin doing all he can to keep his ball club close until he gets support from Drew Hill. Spin move underneath, too strong, weak side rebound controlled. They had a good look to Connor Sanders, and I think he expected a little more pressure, didn't get it. Good move, and 1. See if they'll count it.
They gave it to him.
He has had an incredible first half of basketball for them. He's had 6 points in each quarter, and doing all of this with Drew Hill, their go-to guy on the bench.
Mark, they cannot handle him off the bounce.
No.
He's got a great spin move once he gets into the low post.
He's a strong kid, too. Free throw's good, shows a nice touch from the line. 13 points. Only 2 players have scored. He has 13 of his team's 19 and cuts the lead to 6 with about 4 minutes to play in the half. Strong move to the bucket, threw it up too strong. Wonder what that white square up there is for.
Well, he was debating whether to dunk it or lay it up, and he did neither one.
Fights for the loose ball, rattles it home. Branham gets into the scoring after. The strong move by Hiblin was too strong. He gets an offensive board and a putback. Now it's down to 4. 10-point lead at the quarter. A steal. Back the other way. Up and in. Wyatt Mullen. And a timeout on the floor taken by the Cascade Cadets. Scott Young offers a wide range of products and services that can help clients get the stability needed to face life's surprises. Scott will work in sync with his clients to uncover their financial goals, review the state of your financial health, and identify strategies to guide you up and down the financial mountain. You can email Scott today at syoung@onemidwestfp.com.
You notice a little burst of energy that South Putnam has gotten after Coach Swafford's technical.
Yeah.
They've scored 4 straight points after those two free throws.
And that happens oftentimes. And also, too, I think even with the foul trouble, a lot of their opportunities have been created by their defensive pressure. The lead was 10. It's now down to 2 at 25-23. A good dish and a good open move down low in the first 2 of the ball game for Jonas Johnson. He averages 5 points per contest, getting into the scoring act on a foul. As the Eagles take the ball to the bucket, Drew Hill wastes no time getting back into the act as Kyle Swafford makes the decision to put him on the floor at the 3:14 mark in period number 2. Had the shot partially blocked. He stayed with it, got it back, and drew the foul. Hill is an 81% free throw shooter. Hope I didn't give him the broadcaster's jinx. And of course I did. Combine cutting-edge technology with old-school work ethic to make your game better at Hoosier Shooting Academy, located on Indy's southeast side just off of 465 and Brookville Road, and always open online at HoosierShooting.net. Drew Hill makes good on the second one.
Okay, Coach Swafford's taking a gamble here. He's got Hill with a couple fouls. Most coaches would leave him out till halftime. Hiblin's been carrying the load. See if Hill can help out a little bit.
3-point lead for the Cadets. 3 minutes to go in the half. Again, good defensive pressure by South Putnam. Contesting every pass. And the finish.
Nice ball reversal. Led to a nice wide open layup.
Jonas Johnson has had 2 good looks at the bucket. It's resulted in 4 points for him. Drew Hill, Hiblin, 2 guys doing the majority of the scoring. He's loading up from beyond the arc, and he sees it fall softly through the net. 16 first half points for Hiblin. Back to a 2-point lead, 29-27, 2-minute mark. Nice shot. Complete player, inside out.
Yeah, on my scouting report, I said good things happen when he touches the ball.
Yeah, that's spot on for sure. Might have taken an extra step there, got away with it. Wide open 3 is nothing but net. Think about this basketball team. You leave them wide open on the perimeter, and they're going to make the most of it. Under 2 minutes to play now, back to a 5-point lead for Cascade. Hiblin has been the guy this first half for sure. Dribbles through a double team, throws it up off the glass a little too hard. Hill is there to get the rebound. He throws it up. A lot of contact, no call. Rebound to Cascade. Cadets in transition. Jonas Johnson has been a bit more active offensively of late. He has it out high.
What's interesting, Cascade just averages a shade under 40 points a game, and they have 32 with a minute and a half to go in the first half.
Approaching the 1-minute mark. 32-27, 5-point advantage. Ball loose on the floor. Hiblin's there to gather it in. Throws it up off the glass and in. 18 first half points for Jeremiah Hiblin. 32-29, under a minute to play in the half. What a half that young man has had. Drew Hill went to the bench early with foul trouble, and it has been all Hibbland since. Cascade sees their offense stretched out high. Blocked from behind. And there to clean it up, throw it up off the glass and in. Jonas Johnson, who's given his ball club 6 points in the quarter. Hill for three. Might have been a bit quicker than Kyle Swafford would like. Now Cascade has the basketball, the 5-point lead. Dotson thought about the three and wisely backs it out.
Look for a little dribble plantation with the shot up three for Cascade.
An extra step, drive to the bucket, throws it up off the rim, no. Rebound controlled by South Putnam. Three-quarters court heave. We are at the buzzer. We have played one half of basketball. And a pretty strong quarter by South Putnam, given the fact that they were down 10. They have come storming back in the quarter. 12 points by Jeremiah Hibbland. And they've closed it 34-29 over the Cascade Cadets. We'll be back with our halftime show after this on Endeavor Communications at ISC Sports.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Halftime. And it has been, Coach, the Jeremiah Hibbland show, especially in that second quarter, 12 points.
Yeah, as we said at the opening, good things happen when he touches the ball. He's been very, very successful both inside and outside. Getting into the paint, he's done a dribble to post move where he spun and made layups. He's hit his free throws, and he really carried the team when Drew Hill was on the bench. Yeah,
the only time he struggled at the free throw line, he missed one, I think, when I talked about what a good free throw shooter he was. So you can hang that on me, which always happens. This is the Endeavor Communications halftime show, by the way. Business phone solutions with Endeavor Communications. More than a phone system, Endeavor offers hosted unified communication solutions that give businesses the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. You can find out more at www.endeavor.com. So, scoring-wise, and we talked about a balanced attack for Cascade, and this is the way it shakes out. Connor Sanders has 7. Off the bench, Jonas Johnson provided 6 points for them. Nick Parsons with 5. Drake Dotson with 6. Devin Weigel has 4. Tharp has 2. Toby Savini came off the bench with 4 points. A very balanced attack for them. Not so much balance for South Putnam, but still plenty effective. Jeremiah Hivlin, as we mentioned, 18 points in the first half. Hill had some foul trouble. He ends up with 8 after missing most of the first quarter and part of the second. And Wyatt Mullins has the other bucket with 2. What are some other numbers that jump off the page at you?
Well, it's been a very well-played game. The turnovers in the first couple minutes, both teams start out with a couple, but halftime, Cascade only has 5 turnovers. South Putnam has 4. When they made their run in the second quarter, South Putnam did not turn the ball over the entire second quarter, which is huge. Another reason that South Putnam got back in the game is they extended their half-court man-to-man, and what it did is it really hindered Cascade getting shots off a dribble drive, kick out for 3. They could not penetrate like they did in the first quarter, and I think Coach Wofford extending his man-to-man defense got him in a little bit of foul trouble, but also got him back in the game.
Yeah, it did get him back in the game for sure, and oftentimes you want that pressure defense to lead to transition opportunities. He talked to you about it, Kyle Swafford did. He talked to me about it. He said their length is a concern and their balance is a concern as well, and we saw both of those things come to fruition for Cascade in the first half.
Yeah, their first, handful of baskets were 3-pointers, but they were all the catch-and-shoot variety. But if you see now, they're not getting any catch-and-shoot threes, which has dictated the pace of the game here in the second quarter. What I'm most surprised about is the score at 34-29. As I said earlier, Cascade only averages a little over 39 points a game, and we're five points away from that, and we're still at halftime.
Well, a year ago, Cascade got the 51-49 win. All time, they lead this series. Well, not all time, but certainly dating back to 1999-2000. Cascade has a 19-3 advantage in this series between these two teams that are separated by 10 or 12 miles or so along at US 40. As we mentioned, Kyle Swafford, plenty of experience. He won 2 sectional titles at Monrovia as a girls head coach. Sectional championship with his boys basketball team a year they finished 19-7. 2 of his 3 sectional titles as a coach came right here on this floor, oddly enough.
Well, good for him. We chatted earlier about girls and boys basketball, and here in the state of Indiana, if you win a sectional, whether you're on the boys side or the girls side, it's hard to do. And I think, quite honestly, the second half is going to be determined by who can dictate the pace of the game. You know, typically Cascade plays a little slower than they did in the first half. South Putnam likes to get up and down the court, so I think the first half of the third quarter will be crucial to determine who's going to dictate the tempo in the second half.
Would you agree with some of the things that we talked to Kyle about? That 4 coaches now in 4 years for them. A lot of players left the last year's team throughout the course of the season, and he essentially came here and started from scratch and really has them playing pretty good basketball. And there were 2 really good basketball teams that they had on the ropes late. Lost back-to-back games back in December and early January. They lost to Park Heritage 63-59 and lost by 4 to a very good Sullivan team. Clearly, Kyle has put his stamp on this program in a hurry.
Oh, very much so. You can see the cohesiveness of the kids. You can see the reactions of the bench. The kids are clapping for each other. Body language is not only important on the court, but it's also on the bench as well. And you can see these kids seem to enjoy playing with each other.
We could tell you that the South Putnam Eagles play in the Class 2A Sectional 44. Park Heritage, Southmont, North Putt, South Putt, Greencastle, Riverton Park, and Cloverdale. Coach, talk us through the highlights from the first half.
Well, you notice how wide open these 3-pointers are in the first quarter for Cascade. Watch, catch, shoot. In the second quarter, they extended their perimeter defense, and those shots weren't there because they couldn't get the dribble penetration.
And Cascade got a couple of opportunities just like South Putnam did with their transition defense.
Yes.
And now we go back to the Jeremiah Hivlin show.
The fundamentals that he's using to get position in the low post is what they work on, I'm sure, Coach Wofford, every day in practice. You know, you dribble, spin, get your guy on your hip, you feel him left, you go right, you finish the other way, and he's put on a tremendous show in the first half.
Well, that's one of the things that he talked about, and I think coaches in this day and age talk about. Gone are the days when a kid, he said, nobody makes a mistake on purpose. No kid makes a mistake on purpose. When they make that mistake, I think the first thing you need to do is figure out how to correct it. You can tell fundamentals are stressed here, and the kids have bought into that. So both teams with going through their halftime warm-ups, getting ready to report to their respective benches. We'll take a quick break, come back with third quarter action.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit WeEndeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Certainly got to thank my good friend Troy Burgess, back here as athletic director, football coach, basketball coach, athletic director here with the Frontier and Evansville Central and a few other stops. Finally landed here, and I think this is where he's going to stay for a while, and he should. This is his home, and always great to see Coach Burgess. He is a class act, no doubt. Coach, your thoughts on the second half?
Interesting thought to be to see how the referees go. In the first quarter, they refereed very tight. In the second quarter, they seem to let them play. So we'll see what happens, how the referees handle the ball game.
Third quarter action underway. 5-point advantage for Cascade, and just like that, a foul the other way. Devin Weigel picks up his third personal. Starters back in for both ball clubs. No go, the shot by Dorsett. Cascade in transition. Again, that pressure, so stifling for South Putnam in the half court. A little late getting out to the corner, and a misfire of three-pointer along the baseline by Weigel. Here comes South Putnam in transition.
It was a catch and shoot, but he wasn't ready.
Drew Hill, deep three, rattles deep in the well and rattles out. Cascade the other way. Dodson looks baseline right. Stop and go move along the baseline. It rolls over every inch of that rim and falls away. Two misfires by Weigel. See if Hiblin's going to stay hot. 12 points in the second quarter kept his ball club in it. Good strong move, little fadeaway move off the glass, and Austin Branham has his fourth point. 3-point lead for Cascade. Parsons. Around the perimeter.
Traveled.
Walked with the basketball.
Yeah, wasn't set.
Cascade plays in 2A sectional 43 with University, Covenant Christian, Park Tudor, and Sheridan. They're in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, but only one more year. They're in with Ritter, Beech Grove, Lutheran, Cascade, Speedway, Triton Central, Cecina, and Monrovia, but they go back to the Western Indiana Conference in 2024. Another foul on Cascade, so Cadets starting to have some issues with foul trouble in this half. It was all South Putnam, the guilty offenders in that first half.
Cascade's had 3 possessions and 2 turnovers.
Top of the key, 3. Yes, that's a sweet-looking jump shot by Drew Hill. 11 for him now, and we are tied at 34.
Coach Wofford ran that set play sideline out of bounds. For come off the screen for Drew Hill.
Oh, mix up defensively, and he was too wide open. That's one of those instances where Tharp is just too wide open. And then commits the foul on the missed shot.
He was shocked at how open
Oh,
he was.
I think so.
He looked around and he couldn't find anybody. I think we had somebody dribbling the ball in the stands.
Officials take care of that and reset.
The referees have taken good control of this ball game.
They have, for sure. Just ask Kyle Swafford. Skips through the wickets on Himlin as he started to post up underneath. Turnover, South Putnam, transition opportunity for Cascade. Good basketball game. Didn't look like it was going to be that way early. Cascade's defense, or South Putnam's offense has had something to do with getting them back in it, along with Jeremiah Himlin.
You notice here in the third quarter, those driving lanes aren't open for Cascade to get to the basket.
Three-pointer, no go. Rebound controlled by Weigel. He throws it up and in.
That was a wonderful move by that young man.
6 points for Weigel, back to a 2-point lead for the Cadets. Third quarter rolling along, approaching the 4.5-minute mark. Three-pointer, yes. Moselle gets into the scoring act. His first points of the ball game. He averages 6.4 points per game. That's his first three. Gives his ball club their first lead of the night at 37-36. Trapped in the corner. Cascade going to reset. Weigel. Dodson picks up the dribble at the elbow. Weigel's trying to create. South Putnam's not making that easy. Open three, yes. Good ball rotation, good movement. Tharp has 5 points now.
They were very patient that time, and they got the best shot they've had this half.
2-point lead for Cascade. Dorset in some trouble. Branham rolls around, put too much spin on it. Transition come the Cadets. Weigel wants an opportunity, but defense is just not making it easy for him.
Cascade being much more patient.
No question. Past couple of times has paid dividends for him. Good skip pass across the baseline. Good ball rotation leads to a three-point opportunity. That's a good shot by Dodson, just couldn't get it to fall.
One more pass, they had a better shot.
Hill stop and go, lost the handle momentarily. Little fade away from 15, gives him 13 on the night.
He has a nice repertoire. He can score at all three levels, inside, mid-range, free throw line, and threes.
Tied at 39. Approaching the 2-minute mark, and we've got a foul away from the basketball, and that's going to go against Cascade. That is team foul number 4 on the Cadets. South Putnam is yet to be whistled. Switzer checks in during the stoppage of play.
It's interesting, South Putnam in the first half was the Himlin show, and the second half was the Hill show.
Baseline jumpers and air ball, weak side rebound, knocked out of bounds, last touch by Cascade. Substitution for the Cadets. Jonas Johnson, who gave him a nice boost with 6 points in the second quarter. He will replace Tharp, who checks out with 5 points.
I'm sure that baseline jumper was not what Coach Schwaffer wanted by that young man.
Tied at 39. I can tell you haven't been around him, Coach. No matter who it is, he'll tell him, and we've got a moving screen back the other way. His philosophy is if a kid's open, he wants him to shoot it. He wants him to have the confidence to shoot it. Under 2 minutes to play, tied at 39. Had the feeling this was going to be this kind of basketball game. It didn't look that way early on. He's been trying and trying to get himself open. He does, and it looks like it came off the heel of his hand a little funny. Weigel, and he couldn't get it to fall. That leap and leaner is rejected. Great position by Connor Sanders. There's a good look at it. Where that length comes into play. Quick inbounds. They go to Hill. Didn't quite get enough on it. Scramble for the loose ball. And a rule that I'm just never going to accept as a good one, the alternating possession. I just don't like it. That's the only time I'll say it tonight, I promise. South Putnam ball, had it swatted away again. Connor Sanders has kind of said, well, if you're going to come into my neighborhood.
Hill's bound and determined to get a shot off in this possession. He's had,
right.
you know, he's
on
gonna,
him.
He's going to come by on a screen off Hiblin here. Here he comes. He's going to have a shot. Step back. Ball game. Ooh.
Off the back of the iron, rebound kept alive. Scramble for the loose ball, comes to Hiblin, gives it to Dorsett, up off the glass, too hard. Rebound controlled by Hill, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Hiblin should have shot that. He's too strong and too good in there to pass that to a teammate.
Jonas Johnson picks up the personal. That is his first, and the fifth now on Cascade. So they flipped the script, as they say, in this half. Free throw is good. Hill closing in on his average, missing much of the first quarter and a good portion of the second in foul trouble, and now has 15, and his scoring average is just a tick under 16.
He's too good a player to be not get his points.
41-39, 2-point lead for the Eagles. Just the second time they led tonight. Trailed by as much as 10 at one point. Weigel gets pushed from behind, and the foul is going to be called on Dorsett. That is his fourth personal foul. He picked up 3 quick ones in the first half.
Well, I'm sure Coach would rather that be his fourth than Drew Hill's third.
Exactly, and Hill's done a great job of playing this entire quarter without picking up that foul. Weigel at the free throw line averages 5 points and 4 rebounds. Can't get that free throw to fall. Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at Endeavor.com for more information. That free throw is a no-go. So 0 for 2 from the line that time. Hiblin brings it up the floor. At 18 at the break and is yet to score in this quarter. He's going to try to change that, although he skips it along the baseline. Wide open 3. Good ball rotation. Cam Bozell with a couple of threes. 6 points for him. The lead now up to 5 with under a minute to play in the quarter. Biggest lead for the Eagles. Good drive, and the ball lost on his way to the bucket. It was a strong move by Jonas Johnson. I tell you, I like what he's giving them off the bench tonight. Strong kid. That was on Hiblin. Just his second. He was not in the act of shooting. Just the third team foul on the Eagles.
Well, let's see if Cascade can get a good shot here. They got 34 seconds.
Well, there's a lot of leather there on the replay. But again, as you mentioned, these officials have done a great job of controlling this game in every aspect of it. They've not let things get out of hand. 5-point lead for the Eagles after they trailed at 34-29 at the intermission. Trailed 19-9 at the end of the first quarter. Cascade looks content to play for one here. Wide open 3. Dodson, no. Rebound to South Putnam. Drew Hill, half court heave. off the top of the backboard. We have played 3 quarters of basketball and a good one here at the Eagles' Nest. It's 44-39, fourth quarter action when we come back.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
1965, Cascade won the Brownsburg sectional. They played teams in the early days of their existence like Plainfield, Avon, Danville, but here's some good names from the history of high school basketball. Fillmore, Russellville, Bainbridge, and North Salem. Bainbridge once coached by the legendary Pat Rady, who recently celebrated a birthday. Pretty good quarter for South Putnam, Coach.
15-5.
Fourth quarter action underway. 5-point lead. And a good look underneath and a rejection by Hill. Jonas Johnson thought he had an easy deuce and got swatted. Hiblin in transition, spin move, one-handed fadeaway. What a soft touch. 20 points for Jeremiah Hiblin, and unfortunately, he comes down awkwardly on that ankle. My goodness.
It was a wonderful move and finish.
And he is in some obvious pain. Here's a look at it. Hill gets the rejection. And in transition, he goes to the bucket. We'll see if he lands on somebody's foot here. Nope, he just lands awkward. Actually, it looked
I
like
think he got it on the spin before the shot.
Looked like he got it on the spin for sure. Hoosier Basketball Magazine's 2022-2023 issue will likely be in a gym near you. Please call 317-925-8200 to find out where you can purchase Hoosier Basketball Magazine. If you want to know what's going on in high school basketball in the state of Indiana, that's where and how you do it. As we mentioned, South Putnam, a member of the Western Indiana Conference. That includes Sullivan, Indian Creek, Owen Valley, Edgewood, and Northview. North Putnam, West Vigo, Cloverdale, Greencastle, and Brown County. And Cascade headed back to the week after spending a few years in the Indiana Crossroads Conference. South Putnam in a very tough 2A sectional 44. Park Heritage, Southmont, North Putt, Greencastle, Riverton Park, and Cloverdale. They won their first sectional title in 1974, won them in 77, 84, 86, 89, 91, and 94. They won the 2003 2A South Putnam sectional, so quite a bit of history and tradition here at South Putnam High School.
I look for Hill to be more aggressive with Hiblin on the bench right now.
46-39, South Putnam with 7 minutes to go with the advantage, and their defense have made things difficult for Cascade, and there's an indication. You go to the bucket, there's 2 or 3 arms around you, an empty possession for Cascade. Parsons comes back into the ball game. He has 5 points on the night. Hiblin is up. The trainer's looking him over, and he's trying to put some weight on it. Kyle Swafford would love to get him back. Hill splits the defense, throws it up in traffic just a little too short, and a foul on the rebound. Going to go back the other way.
That's his third.
Well, he waited a long time before he got that third.
And that was a frustration. He thought he should have made that shot. Nice drive, just didn't finish. Cascade struggling to get shots. South Putnam has brought their defense out higher on the perimeter.
We'll see which way we're going here.
We got a blocking foul.
Blocking foul. Asked Kyle Swafford about the overview of his season. He said, for sure we're trending in the right direction. We're just learning to win. He said, our toughness gives us a chance most nights, and says, again, we're not the most skilled team, but he really enjoys coaching this basketball team. You always like to hear coaches this time of year say things like we're trending in the right direction.
I talked to him after the last game I did here with Cloverdale, and I said there's usually 3 levels. You got to learn how to play, you got to learn how to compete, and then you got to learn how to win. There's 3 different levels.
So the officials having a conversation about who touched that ball last, and as a result of where it would shoot.
I think Hill kicked it. I believe it should be at the end line where the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, they're discussing where the ball's going to be placed in bounds. They're going to put it right back in the midcourt strike.
But the referees haven't listened to me for 25 years, so they're not going to start tonight.
Well, they should have. I would not agree with that at all. Again, 46-39 and a bump. Wyatt Switzer picks up his 4th personal foul. That'll dispatch 5'9" senior Fisher Jones off the South Putnam bench.
Now with Hiblin hurt, this really hurt South Putnam.
I mean, he is, and the and one.
What a wonderful inbounds play under the basket.
Connor Sanders has been working around the bucket on a pretty regular basis. He comes off the screen there, great recognition, and he's there for the easy deuce. 9 points now for Connor Sanders, looking to get into double digits, averages 6 points, just over 3 rebounds per contest. That was no good. Long rebound comes down to Wyatt Mullins. 5-point lead for the Eagles. They have the basketball.
They've missed their last 3 or 4 free throws.
Nice move. And the finish by Austin Branham. 6 points for Branham. His average is 4.6. Back to a 7-point lead to the 6-minute mark. David Carpenter. Great over Cascade. David Carpenter in his 2nd season at Cascade after Chris Dubois was there for a number of years. 14 and 22 in his 2nd season.
That was a great hustle play by Hill. Dove on the floor, knocked the ball off Cascade ball, and now we're going the other way. But I would look for Hill to come off a couple screens here.
Another move in the paint and another positive result for Austin Branham. He has come alive and scored 4 straight here. 50-41, and Cascade wants to take a timeout. And again, the credit has to go, I think, to the defensive pressure that Kyle Swafford's ball club has put on Cascade. He made things very difficult for them offensively.
And those last 2 drives have been opened up because they're concentrating on Hill on the outside, and that has left the lane open for Branham to get in there and get a couple baskets. But he's had 2 nice spin moves in the last 2 possessions.
Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. You can contact us at www.endeavor.com for more information. Also tonight, plenty of folks we got to thank for making this broadcast possible. ADP and Anthony Bennett among them. Did you know that ADP pays 1 in 6 Americans? Did you know that if you mention ISC, you can get the full range of ADP services free for 3 months? That's right. ISC and ADP have partnered to help your small business, and it's free for 3. Call Anthony Bennett at 317-427-8249 or mail anthony.bennett@adp.com and mention ISC Sports.
It looks like South Putnam's going to have to finish the game without Hiblin as he's exited left with the trainer. Has some tape. Looks like might be a potential on his left leg.
9-point lead now, 50-41. Under 6 to play. Strong move, not able to finish it. Devin Weigel been around the basket most of the second half and has not been able to finish. Be interesting to see at what point South Putnam starts to attack things with a bit more patience. Drew Hill splits the defense. Left-handed shot too strong. Battle for the loose ball. Good job by Fisher Jones splitting the defenders and earning an opportunity.
Yeah, Cascade should have had that rebound.
That's the 6th team foul on Cascade. Early on in the third quarter, we thought maybe they were going to get in some foul trouble. They stopped reaching and started moving their feet a little bit. The fouls are pretty well even in this half. Hill on the inbounds, approaching the 5-minute mark. Comes off the screen, splits the defense, up and under and in. 17 for Drew Hill. 11-point lead now for South Putnam, by far their largest lead of the ball game. Last touch by Cascade. Hill got a piece of it. Then it went off of the hands of Connor Sanders.
It's been like a two-horse show, right? First half for Hibbland and second half for Hill.
Yep, for sure. Two vastly different halves of basketball. Three-pointer? No. Weak side rebound, battled for, and a foul. I mean, you credit Fisher-Jones for his aggressiveness, but a little too overly aggressive there. And he picks up the foul. That's the 8th team foul on the Eagles. Kai Tharp with 5 points goes to the free throw line. He averages a little over 3 points per game. As we mentioned, they're a 62% free throw shooting team from the line on the year. If you're going to try to gain some momentum and try to crawl back into this thing, get it under double digits, this is one of the ways that you can do it with the clock stopped. Good on that attempt. Savini is a guy who Coach told you earlier gives them some depth on the perimeter, a threat on the perimeter, and we'll see if that's the dividend that he pays by entering the contest. Good on both free throw attempts is Tharp. He has 7. The lead is 52-43, under 5 to play.
It's only 9 points in the second half for Cascade.
Hill, too strong. Rebound, Cascade. I think, and he commits his 4th personal foul, coming back up the floor right at the timeline. I think if you're Kyle Swafford, I think you're going to tell him, hey, let's go ahead and run the offense. Let's not force it. It's okay to take it to the rack if it's there. But if it's not there, again, let's work some clock here.
His last 2 fouls have been after missed shots. Contesting the rebound and contesting the outlet.
Meanwhile, Cascade can crawl right back into this thing from the free throw line, and that's exactly what Jonas Johnson is trying to do. He has 7 points now, and it's been a nice night for this junior. He's given him plenty off the bench. Second free throw on the way. It too is good. So 8 points for Jonas Johnson now. 52-45. 4.5 to play. Kick in the corner. Wide open 3. Yes. Wyatt Mullen with 5 points, and Kyle Swafford's going to take a timeout and talk things over. A quick 30-second timeout for Kyle Swafford. Some of the high school games of maybe interest to some of you. Bowman Academies at Marquette Catholic tonight. Carroll of Fort Wayne's at Fishers. Columbus East at Boardsville. Ben Davis, fresh off a win in the Marion County Tournament, welcoming Decatur Central. Franklin Central at Shelbyville. Shortridge hosts Greenfield Central. Indianapolis Metropolitan at Brebeuf, and Columbus North welcomes Ron Colley. We'll be back to action Friday night. We'll be at the Eel Tank in Eminence, one of the great atmospheres in all of high school basketball in the state. Doubleheader, happy to be joined by my good friend Lance Scheib, as it's a boys-girls doubleheader as South Putnam travels to Eminence. The boys' game will be an interesting one because Kevin Bradshaw, the head coach of the Eminence Eels, longtime assistant under Kyle Swafford at Monrovia. And they will go head-to-head Friday night at the Eel Tank. Kevin Bradshaw is here tonight. Do a little bit of scouting. Had a chance to say hello to him earlier. Coach, I'm going to date myself with Kevin Bradshaw here in a few minutes. I'm going to throw a stat out that I bet you didn't expect to hear. And I bet you'll remember this when I reference this. Three-pointer on the way. No. Long rebound control by Hill.
Wasn't a clean catch. It was not a clean catch. Made it a tough shot. It was a contested 3. Those shots are hard to hit.
We'll see if Kyle Swafford preached patience during that timeout. David Carpenter may be preaching a sense of urgency. And they are indeed being a bit more patient, but credit Cascade because they are dialing things up defensively. Close to a 5-second call, they get rid of it. Baseline drive, shut off. Really like the pressure by Cascade. They're extending the offense out a little bit, under 3.5 to play. Not a foul. Moving screen charged against South Putnam, an unforced error. And that puts them in the double bonus the rest of the way with 3.5 to play.
I bet we've had a half dozen moving screens.
Yes,
most of
we
them
have.
Most of them been on South Putnam.
Yeah, most I've seen in a while.
Yes.
Good ball rotation, open look, a little bit short. Just haven't had much legs when it comes to three-pointers tonight, for whatever the reason. Everything's coming up a little short. Nick Parsons misfired on that three and a foul on the rebound. The lead is 10 at the 3-minute mark. Fisher Jones. Oh, check that. Wyatt Mullen at the free throw line. Mullen's given him 6 points now off the bench.
He's got 4 in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Coach Swofford expected that tonight.
I mean, it was Hill and Hiblin in the first half. Mainly Hiblin, we should say. Good on both free throws. That's huge. 7 points for him. 57-45. Back to a 12-point lead. And it's urgency time for David Carpenter's Cascade Cadets if they want to draw even at 7-7 on the season. Good drive. Weigel gets shut off, brings the ball down low, which you should never do at that size, and made himself easy to defend, and South Putnam gets the turnover. At some point, they'll start to foul, and this is where it is. Kyle Swofford takes timeout before that happens, though. So anyway, about Kevin Bradshaw, the coach at Evans. I'll tell you how far back I go with Kevin Bradshaw. We worked together in high school at Burger Chef. You remember Burger Chef?
I remember it to this day.
That tells you how far back we go. So Kevin was a longtime assistant, coached several places, longtime assistant football coach, assistant basketball coach, been in Eminence, and I tell you, he went through a tough year last year where they went 0-22 at Eminence. He took over the boys program there, and yet he still received a couple of Coach of the Year honors because of the effort that he put in. It got their first win this year, and he's trying hard to build something at a pretty small school in the state of Indiana, and you know that's tough to do.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of our viewers remember Burger Chef and the tragedy happened there, but back in the day, they competed with McDonald's for a while.
Yeah, for sure. But Kevin Bradshaw is a guy that is totally all in, completely all in on the program at Eminence. Back to action, and the ball last touched by Cascade.
So if you notice here, out of the timeout, Cascade is trapping the first pass. So whomever goes into, they're going to give it the other way. They're going to go the other way on this one.
Officials are talking it over, and they're going to come in agreement that it stays with South Putnam with 2.5 to play. 12-point lead for the Eagles. Nice inbounds pass results in an easy deuce. Austin Branham, 10 points.
He's at 8 in the second half.
Yep, been a good night for him. 59-45. That pressure defense continues. Scramble for the loose ball. Still a scramble for the loose ball. Waiting on a whistle. We finally get it. Alternating possession goes back to South Putnam, approaching the 2-minute mark, and David Carpenter looks on in aggravation and frustration. He's going to bring Connor Sanders back into the ballgame.
That is their 6th turnover in the fourth quarter. We still have 2 minutes, 16 seconds to go. Oh.
He did not establish position across the timeline, and even though he left his feet, he had not established position, and that's why the over and back was called.
That was a tough, he put the kid in a tough position with the inbounds pass. Threw it right in the area past midcourt. That's tough to give the ball to a kid there.
Parsons, Weigel, Savini trying to get open. Not having much luck. There's a three-pointer, and it's good, and a quick timeout going to be taken by Cascade. So Nick Parsons, first point since the second quarter, has 8 points. His three-point basket makes it 59-48. 2:02 to play.
Well, I've I've not seen Cascade press. So we'll see if they go man, zone, trap. We did see it in the half court. They trapped the first pass on the inbounds play, and then South Putnam was fortunate. They slipped the screen and got a layup.
Kyle Swafford took over from Matt Pickrell, who was 5-19 in one season here. Travis Turpin was 2-13. Greg Dean was 6-19 in his final year of 6 years here. Troy Burgess, who's now the athletic director, was the head coach for 3 years, and prior to him, Micah Elliott, the head coach for 3 years. So as we mentioned, Kyle becomes the 4th coach in 4 years that they've had here at South Putnam, and has his ball club playing pretty well. Both clubs have played pretty well tonight. Been 2 vastly different halves for sure. Skip pass, they pass up the easy layup. We've got a foul out high. Nick Parson picks up his 3rd personal foul, and there will be plenty of trips to the free throw line with the margin at 11 and under 2 minutes to play. Free throw is missed by Bozell. In transition, Cascade throws up the air ball, and Savini grabbed the rebound but stepped on the out-of-bounds line trying to get open for a 3. Timeout on the floor. South Putnam with some trouble getting it in because of the pressure by Cascade.
Well, I believe the only way Cascade is going to get back in, they need a couple steals and a couple easy baskets, because once they get into the half court, they're going to foul, and South Putnam has been pretty good at the free throw line.
Cascade was 8-15 a year ago. They're first under David Carpenter. Chris Dubois, the longtime coach. 17 seasons on the sideline at Cascade and had a lot of success there. They won 2A titles, sectional titles in 2001, 2004, 2005, and 2006. And a couple of really good coaches once upon a time, in addition to Chris Dubois at Cascade. Jason Young, who had a lot of good teams at Cascade for a number of years and moved on to Avon eventually. And then Tim McRoberts also, once upon a time, coached a number of sports at Cascade in addition to basketball. Became an outstanding administrator and now works on the state level for the State Principals Association. Tim McRoberts, good guy. Six and 7 Cascade coming into play tonight. Kyle Swafford trying to get his ball club above the 500 mark. They're 5-5. Offensive foul charged against South Putnam. That's a good call. I mean, he lowered his shoulder. Yeah. He initiated the contact.
You know, he had 2 teammates wide open. Once he got the ball, he should have given it up. He just lowered his shoulder and almost like a fullback dive.
Yep. 11-point lead, under 2 to play. I mean, the pace needs to quicken, but they don't need to take bad shots. That's not a bad shot, and it results in a 3-pointer and a quick timeout. So Nick Parsons trying to shoot his ball club right back into it. He's now in double figures with 11.
Yeah, I think he only averages 6 or 7 points a game.
Yeah, he averages 6 points and about 3 rebounds. Just interesting to me, the contrast in halves. And again, we might remind people, you know, the leading scorer, Drew Hill, got in foul trouble early. Got to give a lot of credit to Jeremiah Hiblin. He shot him back into it. Had the lead down to 5 at halftime. That came out strong in the third quarter, courtesy of Hill. But more specific, what adjustments did you see that Kyle Swafford made at halftime that allowed his club to get back into it?
Well, Drill Hill became very active in the third quarter especially. He's got 3, 5, 7, 9 points here in the second half. Hiblin only has 4. But what's really opened it up is Austin Branham has come up with 8 points in the second half, and they've all been drive, spin, finishes. And for a guard of his size to get into the paint, but they've been paying attention to Hill on the outside, which has opened up the lane for him to drive in. And so we'll have to see here what happens over the next 91 seconds.
8-point lead for the South Putnam Eagles, who have trailed by 10 or more in the first half. Hill has the ball knocked away, and it results in an easy opportunity for Dorset and one. He is the lone starter who has not scored, and he just changed that as Nick Parson picks up his 4th personal foul and bumps the lead back up to 10.
Yeah, if you're going to foul him on that shot, you got to make sure he doesn't make it.
That's right. Free throw rolls around and in. Dorset with 3, back to 11 at 62-51. Three-pointer, Parsons, yes. He has really gotten hot in this quarter. 14 points on the night now, 62-54. Hill, they did a great job of spreading the floor. They had an easy deuce. See if Hill's going to take advantage of it, and he does. They spread the floor, and it resulted in an easy deuce, and 19 for Drew Hill. Savini, no. Rebound tapped out, controlled by Cascade. Deep three put up by Dodson, no. Rebound controlled by Dorset. South Putnam in transition with under a minute to play. Stop and go dribble, easy layup. Thrown up too strong, rebound controlled by the Eagles. Savini picks up his first personal foul. Mosley to the free throw line.
Yeah, but both teams are in double bonus now. And with 43 seconds to go, oh my goodness.
Boy, that almost didn't get there. That looked like one of my free throws. Seven for Bozel. Looked a bit more confident on that free throw. Savini 3, no. Long rebound to Weigel. Burning clock here. Savini open underneath for the easy deuce. At a timeout charge to Cascade. I think they had hoped that Savini would get untracked on the perimeter, but I'll tell you, a lot of credit's got to be given to this defensive pressure in the second half by South Putnam. They have made every possession a challenge for Cascade.
Now, Savini's come off the bench with 8 points, which is huge for Cascade, but I would agree wholeheartedly with you. The defensive pressure from, let's go with the start of the second quarter throughout the second half has really dictated the game for Kyle and South Putnam. Those early on, they had wide open catch, open, shoot threes, and in the second half, we haven't seen that, have we?
So now Hiblin has returned to the bench, and we thought maybe he rolled an ankle, but it looks like more of a knee because we look now and we can see that he has that ice bag strapped to his left knee. And so we hope it's not a tear. We hope maybe he just tweaked it a little bit because, again, they're back to action Friday at Eminence. And I mean, he came up huge for them. I mean, he made it possible for them to stick around in this ball game with his performance in the second quarter.
He single-handedly kept them in the game.
Yeah. And I mean, he's the real deal. I mean, an inside-out player just like Hill. Different body type, different size, different type of player, but both very effective nonetheless. 65-56. South Putnam, an unforced error. It goes back to Cascade with 26 seconds left. Offensive, defensive substitutions means Drake Dodson returns and Connor Sanders sits down.
2 of the last 3 possessions, that's turnovers for Austin Branham. Got to take care of the basketball.
Savini trying to get open. They try to go to Weigel. He's double teamed right away. They say he walked with the basketball. Go back to that offensive defensive substitution as Sanders returns. Moselle to trigger it in. He does so. And the ball's knocked away. Three-pointer. Weigel, yes. Weigel with 9 points has tried to get on track this half, and they've made it very, very difficult for him. South Putt gets it in. A quadruple team, and what do we got? A timeout going to be charged to South Putnam with just 4 seconds left. Kyle Swafford wanted to get the basketball back out of bounds and reset. Asking the official where the inbound's going to come so he can draw up the play. It is a full 60-second timeout.
I think we just have one timeout left between the teams.
They're going to use them all for sure. Use them or lose them, right? Doubleheader Friday night, as we mentioned, a girls-boys doubleheader. Couple of pretty good basketball teams. South Putnam and Eminence. And as again, folks, I'm telling you, the Eel Tank is a special, special place. Did a massive renovation of it and an update of it a few years ago when Jeff Gibney was the superintendent. And it has the shine on it that it deserves for such a historic venue. Jeff left there, of course, went to Bloomfield for a while, and now is putting his mark on the campus at Greencastle. They're getting ready to hire a new football coach, and whoever they hire is going to get a brand new facility with new turf and new weight training facility, a wrestling room, and all that. That's not too far away from here, Greencastle, another Putnam County school. 6-point lead, 4 seconds left. Gosh, you just throw it to the other end of the floor, don't you? They get it into Dorset. They're not going to foul. They'll make the steal. Baseball pass back the other way. And how about the South Putnam Eagles? They pick up a big win. 65-59 after trailing 19-9 at the end of the first quarter. They closed it to 5 at the intermission, then went on a 15-5 run in the third quarter to lead 44-39. And then pulled away to win 65-59. Some of the numbers we have in terms of in the scoring department, as we're in our post-game show now. Leading scorer for the Cascade Cadets was Nick Parsons with 14. 9 from Connor Sanders and Devin Weigel. 8 points from Jonas Johnson off the bench. 7 points from Mackay Tharp. 6 points for Toby Savini and 6 points for Drake Dodson. In the scoring act for the South Putnam Eagles, they were led by Jeremiah Hemlin, who kept them in the ball game in the first half and finished with 20 points. But again, he tweaked the knee a little bit. We hope he's going to be okay for that game Friday night. Followed up by Drew Hill, who took over the scoring load in the second half. He scored 19 points. Took a while for other guys to get into the act. When they did, Austin Branham finishes with 10. Wyatt Mullen was 7. Cam Bozell was 7. And Zach Dorset finishes with 3. Again, it was 19-9 Cascade at the end of 1, 34-29 at halftime Cascade, 44-39 South Putnam at the end of 3. And again, the final 65-59. Eagles improved to 6-5. Cascade falls to 6-8. Coach, some of the numbers jump off your stat sheet.
Well, as you alluded to, the first half was a Hiblin show, and the second half was a Drew Hill show. I think the game kind of turned when Kyle Swafford got a technical. At that point, they picked up the intensity, moved their half-court perimeter defense out, and I think the catch-and-shoot threes for Cascade were far and few between. And then the second half, they kept that pressure defensively applied to Cascade, and Cascade struggled getting shots. You know, in the second half, it was 36-25 for South Putnam, and it was a very good high school basketball game.
Well, and oftentimes you hear the old adage, it was two vastly different halves of basketball, and I think that's exactly what we saw here tonight, huh?
Exactly. And, you know, hats off to South Putnam for not going away when they got down, 10, 12 points early, but they kept battling and battling. Hill went to the bench. Hiblin put the team on his shoulders. And then when Hiblin got hurt, there Hill was to pick up the pieces. But give credit to Cascade. They played a good ball game. You know, they typically score 40 points a game. They ended up with almost 60 points tonight. They're, as Coach Carver said, they're well balanced. They got some contributions off the bench, and I think both these teams turned a corner tonight.
Yeah,
even though one lost, one won, but it was a very good ball game.
Yeah, I agree, and there's no question Cascade causes some matchup problems for a lot of people with their length and their ability on the perimeter. It just the defense was a bit too much, and a couple of guys handling the scoring load did so very, very well for the South Putnam Eagles tonight. Well, a couple of brief phone calls but was all we had in preparation for this one, and we really hadn't met until you showed up at the gym tonight. But I really enjoyed it, and hope we get a chance to do this again real soon, Coach.
Yeah, it was very much fun. I appreciate it, and hope everyone has a good evening. And
we hope you'll join us Friday night from the Eel Tank for our outstanding production crew. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Congratulations again to the South Putnam Eagles. They win it tonight, 65-59 over the Cascade Cadets.